Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem, amma ba'd. So in this lesson, we'll be discussing two more, a brief, again, discussing, it's like it's oversimplified, very simple introduction to two more terms. One is called Istihsaan, and one is called Urf. Okay, we'll explain bit by bit. Istihsaan literally means, the rule is, when you have a general rule, so you have a rule, and we understand this rule from all of the other proofs. So you have, for example, many hadiths, many Quranic ayat, and from there we understand one principle. What do? We leave this principle or this rule because of another evidence. Yes? So what it is, let me give a simple example of this. Let's say, for example, when you look at the Quranic verse, فَلْيَطَّهَّرُوا is bab tafa'ul, and it has ta'keed in it. And the Prophet ﷺ says, under every piece of hair, meaning every folded hair, under every hair, the janaba, there's impurities. So therefore, you must wash what? Every single part of the body. If a single part of the body is left dry, then what happens? The ghusl is not counted, correct? Does that make sense? Yes? Yeah? Yes? However, we have a hadith from Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, we have a hadith from Salama radiallahu ta'ala anha, if I'm not mistaken. And in there, many of them say that if a woman has zafira, quduri as well, if she has hair in a plait, it's not necessary for her to undo her plait. So in these scenarios, we're seeing that the general rule of having to wash every part of the body is being broken. So we say this is istihsan, that there's a general rule that every part of the body must be washed, and we see a scenario with another piece of evidence which says no, you don't have to wash. In this one is exempt from the general rule. And istihsan has many types. We'll go through that later on, inshallah. But just get a brief understanding. So if this word comes up later on, you got a rough idea. So istihsan means what? A general rule is broken because of another evidence. You understand? You got the brief, very simple, oversimplified meaning of istihsan. Everybody following? Yes? Again, and all the details we'll go through later, inshallah. Okay. The next thing that we have a brief understanding is urf. What is urf? Arafa ya'rifu ma'rifatan, to understand, to recognize, to know, to be aware of. So the simple definition and a brief starting point for urf is what? If you have a custom or a general practice of people which is used to define points of pre-established rulings. Let me give you an example. Ba'ya yubi'u bay'an. You know as well. Bay' means what? Transaction. What's a transaction? To buy and to sell, when you're buying something. So the rule is, when you're buying something, you must have qabul and you must have ijab. What does ijab mean? Somebody makes an offer. Like if I come and take your pencil and say, oh, I'm buying it, and I leave 1p on the, you have a laptop, I grab your laptop, I put 1p on the table and say, I bought it off you, and I take it away. Is that buying and selling? That's theft, isn't it? Really, isn't it? You can't say I bought it, can you? To buy, the person has to say, well, I'm going to sell my property, you present the price, and the person accepts the price. Do you understand? So both parties, one party must make an offer, the other party must accept, and the thing you're selling and the price is known. Correct? Everybody following this? Yes. However, how, like, you don't, there's no, the Islam hasn't, so this is the rule of Islam, that you have to do ijab, you have to do qabul, you have to make an offer, you have to accept the offer. Without this, no transaction. But how is the offer made? You don't have to say, oh, I am selling, I am buying. Let's say, for example, you go in a shop. When the shopkeeper opens the shop, what does that mean? That everything on the shelves are for sale, isn't it? No? So all you have to do is, so basically he's already in ijab. So urf means that in our customs, when a person opens up his shop, that's a sign that everything on the shelves are for sale. Now you don't have to say a single word. In those times, in the past, they would probably have to, like say, I want this please, I want that please. Or maybe now you just go, you see a can of drink, 33p, and there's a mark. All you have to do is take that can, put it on the counter. He might even put 33p and he gives you a bag, and I say, you don't know, well, that's quite rude. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, hello, how are you? There's nothing, but that's still, the buy is counted, isn't it? Because the urf, the custom of the people have understood that this is an ijab. The trader and has opened a shop. That means everything on the counters, target price, is for sale. When you take that item and you put it on the counter, that means I accept your offer, and you give the price. That means it's done. There's no fixed way of but ijab and qabul is a condition of the Sharia. And I give you an easy example. Birrul walidain. What does birrul walidain mean? Being kind and being obedient and being dutiful to parents. Yes, it's called birrul walidain. Understand? Now, birrul walidain is polite speech. Yes, not is, but one form of. Now, the Sharia has taught us some common sense thing that we could kind to parents. But there's no fixed rule in it. What does kind to parents mean? Obviously, polite speech, because every urf understands that this is polite speech. Obeying the order, they say something to you, you obey them. Now, kissing hands, in some now this is a good thing, but some cultures, some parents say, I don't like it, don't kiss my hands, I don't like it all the time, don't do it all the time, I don't like it. Now, if you keep on doing that, would that be obedience or disobedience? You get it? Yes? Let's say your parents say, normally to let the elders eat first is respect. But let's say, for example, your mom says, come on, you eat quick, let's go murder her. And you say, no, mom, I'll eat after you. And you come murder late, or you go to school late. You get what I'm trying to say? So the general rule is enormous. Let's say, for example, like you shouldn't say something bad to your parents. But let's say, for example, you and your parents are messing around and they're teasing you, you're teasing them. Now, if you take out the context, it's well, in certain conditions, it may be bad. But if it's a friendly joke and you're both laughing and you're both messing around, you can tease you may be able to tease your dad, tease your mom teases you, and it's a joke. Do you understand? If the urf says that this is, and the way you tease them makes them laugh, like I don't know, like a little joke or like a nice joke, not like a painful joke, like a joke, and even your mom laugh, your dad laugh. So even though you may say the wording or you're teasing them is haram, it's not haram. If the urf, whatever the customs of the people are in that place, so the Sharia said you have to have birrul walidain, you have to be kind to parents. What is kindness to parents? Then whatever is counted as kindness in that society is what is goodness. Do you understand? Yes. Another example is that, for example, if you go to buy a car and you bought the car. Now, when you buy a car in our society, the tires are included, the engine is included, the seats are included. You don't have to state that. That's urf. You understand? You can't say, oh, I didn't mean. You can maybe sometimes you take out the mat. Some people take out the mat. Some people say, well, I take out my CD player, or I take out my CDs, I take out my decorations, my adornments, I take out my extra, my charger. You get what I'm saying? So now you can go to court. I don't know what happens in the court, but logically, you say, well, yeah, when you buy the car, you know the charger was included. You know the sat nav thing that you added, that's not included. But you can't take out the seats because in everybody understands. Everybody knows that when you buy and sell, what's included? Automatically, what's included? The seats are included, the engine is included. But there's no rule in Islam, no Quran, Hadith, or Qawl Sahabi to prove this. So Islam says so whatever is understood within the urf and people's general understanding, that's also Islamic ruling. Generally speaking, also there's more details of this, inshallah, we do later on, inshallah. But the two terms, Istihsaan, a general rule that is overridden because of another evidence, and the other masla we have here today is urf, that the customs of the people, provided it doesn't break other Islamic rules, that can be a means of detailing pre-established Islamic rulings. Yes? Pranking them, a friendly tease. It could be that, if for example, if society says no, you don't, in no circumstances whatsoever in a country or society where no, you never tease your parents, even in a joking way, that's disrespectful. You want to do that, that's disrespect. And if society says, or says that, okay, that's fine, people here appreciate that, then it's okay. So you have to look at the customs. Yeah? Does everybody understand this? Any questions regarding this? Is it clear to everybody? Okay.